Good morning, and Shannon and I are off early in the morning. This is our week for going to Rochester Thursday. So because we are still in the times of coronavirus, she has to get another COVID test. So she and Dale seem to be the COVID test stars of the family. Him because he works at a hospital, Shannon because she goes and uses common equipment in the pulmonary function room. So we are in line waiting and have a COVID test, and then we hope to today work on closing the pool. So hopefully we'll get some footage of that, and not sure what else the day will bring, but we shall see. And we're praying that it's a negative test. So Shannon's COVID test was indeed negative, and we are headed out to Rochester this morning for her quarterly appointment. So leaving early, it's at 10, so it's pretty much a full day, and we'll see how things go. So, we are done with Shannon's appointment. She went in by herself. I waited in the waiting room, and I don't know, everybody else went in and came back out before her. That's how long her appointments take. Literally, at least probably 5 people went in after her, and were all out, every single one before her. So, just to gauge, and this is a specialty suite, so everybody there has some kind of specialist they're seeing. So just she sees a lot and has a lot to do. But everything looked good. She did not see her nutritionist because of COVID still, which is kind of a bummer. We were hoping she could see her, so we might have to contact her and do a Zoom call or something to make sure we're doing everything right as far as her diabetes. But as far as eating with her diabetes, not the insulin, we're doing right. We talked to the endocrinologist about that. So, but a good appointment. Her lung function is a slight decrease, but still normal. So it's not unusual, I would say, when you're on Toby, for that to happen, for it to be a slight decrease. So just has to do more exercise and more.
It's still right on my baseline. So.
More exercise.
I know.
Do more exercise. But now we are off to hopefully Dairy Queen to get some lunch, and then head home. See you later. Welcome, Old House guests. It's been a challenge to try and get footage this past couple weeks. First we were in pickup mode from the wedding, and then we had to make a quick change to get my mom moved down here. She's been living alone 2 years since my dad passed away, and it became apparent that she couldn't live alone anymore. So last week we had to move her down. So it's been a little bit of a new scenario here at the old house, and on top of that, trying to remember to vlog when we aren't really great at it yet has been a challenge. So we've been busy though. We've been getting ready for fall. Fall's a busy time here. Getting the garden taken care of, closing the pool, trying to do some more yard cleanup and work. So I was just going to show you some of the things that we've accomplished, even though we didn't vlog while we were in the midst of them. And we still have some things to do, finishing up the garden cleanup, and hopefully stain the deck next week if the weather cooperates. And who knows what else we'll find to do to get ready for fall. Shannon's working on planting some bulbs and just other things to get ready for the winter and have the house and property as good for winter as we can. This is where we took all the sumac down. picked up the brush pile, burned it up. We have just that one little pile of pine cones left to burn. And done some raking, and that will be good to seed for grass in the spring. Here we have the flower bed. Shannon has started, she's taken out all the tulip bulbs that were in there. She's going to replant those, and she has some other things to plant. Here we have the garden. Everything is harvested. We have a few things that we missed or were not good. We still have to pick up the plastic, take down the corn stalks, pull out any other plants and weeds, and then get it tilled. So that's on the docket for hopefully next week, weather permitting. But we had a good garden this year. Brendan got quite a few pumpkins, and he's already sold almost all of them except a few decorative ones. And our last big project was getting the pool closed up and ready for winter. It's always kind of a sad thing to do, but it has to be done. So we are all set that way, covers on. It's a little bit of a project. We have a radiant pool, and getting this cover on is a little bit of a process. Then we just have left to get the patio set taken care of and hopefully stain the deck next week. So that's on our to-do list. Otherwise, we are good to go for fall. One thing I want to mention this week is I'm in a launch group for a new book. I did a little vlog bit a while ago about 100 Days to Settle Your Soul, a devotional I went through this summer, which was one of the co-authors was Ehman. I have since been invited to be in a launch group for her next book, Reach Out, Gather In, which is set to release October 20th. So I highly recommend you pre-order. I've been able to read some of it, and it's a great book. It's going to be a great devotional about being hospitable, reaching out to strangers, reaching out to fellow believers, reaching out to neighbors, and how to use the gift of hospitality to share Christ with those around us, whether it's to minister to the lost or minister to those in our circle of friends, but just to use the season of our lives to be hospitable and to share Christ through the gift of hospitality. And while we don't all necessarily have that gift, we all have ways that we can serve others, which would be considered hospitality. So that's a great book. I highly recommend you pre-order a copy, and we'll put a link in the description or somewhere, wherever that goes. I'm not tech savvy for that, so that you can pre-order it. And that's all. Go ahead.
Anyways, so we had to go to town. What did we have to go to town for?
To count money for church.
To count money for church. Well, she had to count the money. I just came along because I came along.
And we need to go to the store for some things for her.
Yeah. So now we're at Dunkin.
Because that's what Shannon likes to do. Go to Dunkin.
I don't go to town that often.
And then we go home. Well, Shannon spent the morning planting some bulbs, flower bulbs. So
yeah.
She did that. When we go home, we're going to work on some garden deconstruction. Pulling out any plants that are left, or tomato plants and corn and all that, and the plastic that we put down and the boards that we put down on it, and just then take the fence down so we can mow and then till and get it all ready for winter. So that's the plan for this afternoon.
Not that it'll go according to plan.
We'll see.